JBL here at ringside, welcoming you to Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Hey, I got top billing tonight. I like it. Keep it up.
Well, what can I say? These Minneapolis fans have got me in such a great mood. I'm feeling especially generous tonight. I hope this isn't the last time we see these superstars face off. Top rope moves can win or lose you the match. There's very little middle ground.
Man, this one's turned into a fight, pure and simple.
We knew it was going to be intense. We knew it was going to be physical. But I don't think anyone was prepared for this.
I gotta admit, it took me by surprise, and that doesn't happen often.
That's an understatement. You've been in hundreds of matches in your career. We've both called hundreds more. We usually have a pretty good idea of what to expect, but not this time.
I guess it just goes to show you anything can happen here in the WWE. When I first heard about this match, I wasn't sure what to think, but these superstars are blowing me away.
Really? As soon as I heard about it, I expected a tremendous matchup, and I haven't been disappointed.
I didn't say I'm not disappointed, but I'll talk about getting stuck with you as a broadcast partner some other time.
Oh!
These superstars are at the top of their game, but only one of them is going to have his hand raised at the end of this one.
And that's a real shame because, like you said, this has been a high-risk maneuver in the works from that top turnbuckle. Watching these superstars go at it reminds me why I prefer to stay on this side of the announce table.
You know, if you let me train you, you could be cruiserweight champ inside a year.
Oh, no. I've heard stories about the way you train people. You make Marine drill instructors look like pushovers.
Are you surprised? They're just training people to go to war. I train them to be WWE superstars.
Well, thanks but no thanks, partner. I think I'll stick to announcing for now.
Man, what a match. Kids, if you're watching this, don't try this stuff at home.
Absolutely not. These are trained WWE superstars, and even they wind up seriously injured sometimes.
That's for sure. Even me, a former WWE champion, has had his share of injuries over the years.
This superstar is all fired up, and so is this capacity crowd. And here's the cover. The adrenaline is pumping. The crowd is coming alive. This is what they came to see.
You can show off for the crowd if you want, but all that does is let your opponent rest up.
Actually, I think it's a great display of confidence on the part of this great superstar.
I think we might be looking at the future of the WWE in this ring tonight.
Wouldn't surprise me one bit. This is a great match. The fans are definitely into it.
And that's what really matters. If the WWE fans aren't happy, they'll let you know it.
Now there's a superstar with guts. These top rope moves, though, are high risk. This match proves without a doubt why SmackDown's the dominant brand in sports entertainment.
I can't help but agree, partner. You won't see action like this on Raw.
Even if you did, you'd have to hear about puppies and government mules and scalded dogs. It's like a zoo over there.
This capacity crowd is certainly getting its money's worth here tonight.
And it's a good thing, too. If they're not buying tickets, we're not getting paychecks.
Well, I don't think we'll have to worry about selling tickets the next time we come back here. Not after a match like this. Night after night, the WWE superstars never fail to amaze the fans.
And that's a good thing. I don't even like to think about where we'd be if they didn't.
Well, we wouldn't be sitting here calling this match, that's for sure.
It's crazy to think that we actually get paid to do a job like this. There's thousands of people out there who would do this for free.
Really? Maybe I should look into that. I could get a better broadcast partner and save the company some money at the same time.
Keep it up, and you're going to find out exactly how tough it is to do this job with your jaw wired shut. These superstars give everything they've got when they're in a match like this, but a lot of people don't realize what they sacrifice behind the scenes, too.
No question. If you want to make it in the WWE, you've got to sacrifice just about everything for your career. It has to be as important to you as anything else in your life.
And for a lot of guys, their WWE career is their life. That's why you see so much passion for what they do in the ring.
And that's something you won't see anywhere else. With all due respect to every athlete and entertainer out there, no one gives as much of themselves to their fans as the WWE superstars.
I've got to admit it, I'm impressed by these superstars' performance here tonight.
We were expecting a solid match from these superstars, but this is even better than I'd hoped. I don't think anyone in this match has even considered that they might not walk out the winner.
Of course not.
And there's the pin.
1, 2.
Anyone who thinks this business is a piece of cake should get into the ring with these superstars.
I don't think anyone would last too long against them. These are trained WWE professionals.
These superstars have been giving it everything they've got all night.
They sure have, and that's where the superb conditioning of the WWE superstars comes into play.
Yeah, you're not going to win a match if you're blown up 2 minutes into it.
You can say that again. I've seen matches won and lost simply because one superstar was able to outlast their opponent.
It's so great seeing these superstars in competition here tonight. I had a feeling they were going to wind up against each other sooner or later.
There were times when it seemed like it wasn't going to happen, but I can't tell you how glad I am that it did.
That's for sure. You know, anytime you throw these kind of combustible elements into a match, you're guaranteed a great show.
3.
And that's exactly what we're seeing here tonight.
There's the cover.
1, 2.
I certainly don't envy the referee in this match.
No kidding. No matter what call you make, you're going to get on the bad side of at least one superstar.
And that's about the last place you want to be if you're not a superstar yourself. Trust me, I know. Each of these competitors is looking for the slightest hint of weakness in the other.
That's the law of the jungle. An injured superstar is like a wounded animal.
I think we're about to see a high-risk move from the top rope.
Even if you wind up winning a match like this, you're going to be feeling. Here's the pin.
1, 2.
These superstars are on fire tonight.
They sure are, and I don't think they're going to be put out anytime soon.
This has been a great match so far, but I think it's pretty obvious which way it's going.
Oh, really? Are you willing to go out on a limb and actually make a guess then?
There's no guesswork involved, but if you're going to be snippy, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
Wow, if I knew it was that easy, I would have said that years ago.
I think these superstars are going to keep it up until they've got literally nothing left to give.
And that's the attitude you have to take to win. You know that your opponent isn't going to hold anything back, and you can't afford to either.
I'd love to know where you're coming up with this stuff, because it sure ain't from personal experience. Boy, this is not the way I thought this match was going to go at all.
And that's what makes the WWE so exciting.
Here's the pin. This could be it.
2, 3.
The ref's got a tough job.
This is Michael Cole here with John Bradshaw Layfield, and tonight it's all about revenge.
That's right. Last week, our wannabe leading man got punked out by the competition.
And I don't think that helped his odds of landing the WWE Films role at all.
Absolutely not. Who's going to buy a ticket to see a movie starring a loser?
Anywhere else.
And that's because you're not going to see athletes like the WWE superstars anywhere else, Cole.
You certainly aren't. They're the greatest athletes in the world. And this is the only place you'll see them doing what they do best.
This has been a great match so far, but I think it's pretty obvious which way it's going.
Oh, really? Are you willing to go out on a limb and actually make a guess then?
There's no guesswork involved. But if you're going to be snippy, I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
Wow, if I knew it was that easy, I would have said that years ago. I hope this isn't the last time we see these superstars face off.
I don't say this too often, but I completely agree with you. This has all the makings of a nice, long rivalry.
I don't know how nice it is, but there are certainly some issues between these superstars, and I think this match might only exasperate them.
Hey, watch your language. This is a family show.
I said exasperate. Oh, never mind. Look at this. No fear on the face of this superstar.
Yeah, but that kind of thing's not going to win you the match.
Each of these competitors is looking for the slightest hint of weakness in the other.
That's the law of the jungle. An injured superstar is like a wounded animal. It's survival of the fittest.
And that also means that if you're not at 100%, you've got to be able to hide it from your opponent.
That's absolutely right. This business is as psychological as it is physical. You can't let your opponents think you're easy pickings.
Talk about adding insult to injury. And these fans love it.
Yeah, but you got to worry more about the injury and less about the insult till the match is over. Man, this one's turned into a fight, pure and simple.
We knew it was going to be intense. We knew it was going to be physical. But I don't think anyone was prepared for this.
I got to admit, it took me by surprise, and that doesn't happen often.
That's an understatement. You've been in hundreds of matches in your career.
I think he's going to fly. It's crazy to think
so much can go wrong from that top turnbuckle.
These superstars are on fire tonight.
They sure are, and I don't think they're going to be put out anytime soon.
Man, I don't want this match to end.
I'm with you, partner, but it's got to end sooner or later.
Well, whichever way it goes, no one can say that these superstars didn't give it everything they got. There isn't an ounce of quit in these superstars.
There certainly isn't. They're in this one to the bitter.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Nothing costs you a match quicker than overconfidence.
What are you talking about? I see a dominant superstar who's rallying this capacity crowd behind him. I don't think anyone in this match has even considered that they might not walk out the winner.
Of course not. That's the kind of attitude that gets you beat quicker than anything.
And that's something I don't think people realize. The mental conditioning of the WWE superstars is just as impressive. He's taken a little time to give his opponent a piece of his mind.
You sure he can spare it? This could be 3 right here.
1, 2.
When I first heard about this match, I wasn't sure what to think, but these superstars are blowing me away.
Really? As soon as I heard about it, I expected a tremendous matchup, and I haven't been disappointed.
I didn't say I'm not disappointed, but I'll talk about getting stuck with you as a...
Come on, ref! That should have been a disqualification right there.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Bottom line is, it ain't. I think these superstars are going to keep it up until they've got literally nothing left to give.
And that's the attitude you have to take to win. You know that your opponent isn't going to hold anything back, and you can't afford to either.
I'd love to know where you're coming up with this. Going up that turnbuckle hurts a hell of a lot less than coming down from it. Anyone who thinks this business is a piece of cake should get into the ring with these superstars.
I don't think anyone would last too long against them. These are trained WWE professionals.
I know I say this a lot, but here's the pin. This could be it.
2.
We've seen some pretty good back and forth here, but you don't see too many matches end that way.
No, you don't. And I think we'll see one superstar dominate the match before it's over.
Oh, man, I don't envy that referee. The last place I'd want to be is between these two superstars.
You can say that again. Talk about hazardous to your health.
That isn't going to make you popular, but you got to do whatever it takes to win.
I just think it's unfortunate whenever a superstar decides to cheat to win rather than compete fairly.
So have you got any predictions about who's going to win this one?
No way. I've seen you embarrass yourself with an... And here's a little something for the fans. That's why they love him.
Who cares what they think? All he's doing here is giving his opponent a chance to recover. I cannot remember the last time I've seen a crowd this pumped up.
I know what you mean, partner. These superstars have really brought the fans to life here tonight. Look at this, a blatant choke.
That ring rope's crushing the throat, cutting off the flow of blood and oxygen. This one's going to keep going until someone can't go anymore.
And
the most frustrating thing in the world is when you want to keep fighting and there's just nothing left. And I think we're getting to that point here. This is just dumb. You don't win a match by taunting your opponent to death.
I disagree. Getting the crowd on your side can be a huge psychological boost.
What a match. I've got no idea what these superstars are going to do next.
That makes two of us, partner. And I think that's one of the things that makes it so exciting. He wasted no time going for that pin.
This match is so good, it's even worth having to sit next to you to watch it.
Thanks a lot. You know, you're not always my #1 choice for a broadcast partner either.
You know what? You should partner up with Jerry Lawler. Then you could have the king and the queen on commentary.
Really funny. You know, that would almost be worth not having to work with a joker like you all the time.
Oh boy, somebody's voice just went up a couple of octaves right there.
It hurts just watching it. I can't imagine how excruciating this must be.
Oh boy, here we go with the old top rope between the legs. Yeah, that's just great. Why don't you just quit showing off and get down to business?
He is getting down to business. He's in the sports entertainment business, isn't he? The adrenaline is pumping. The crowd is coming alive. This is what they came to see.
Hey, try to restrain yourself a little bit, okay? You're supposed to be calling this down the middle. Come on, quit showing off. This is a wrestling match, not a popularity contest.
And here's the cover.
1, 2, 3.
Look at these superstars go. It's
Quebec. Jim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler.
And folks, let me assure you that tonight's show is a lot better than JR's French. Shoot.
Well, there's no question of that. These Montreal fans are ready to get started, and so am I. So what are we waiting for? I've got a feeling that this has all the makings of an instant classic.
That's probably just gas, JR.
Well, I did have some good old Oklahoma barbecue before tonight's show, but I don't think that's it. These fans got more than they bargained for, King.
They bought tickets to see the show, not be a part of it.
Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to who's going to win this thing.
What? Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start of the match.
Oh, really? Well, then, why don't you just enlighten the rest of us, King?
No way. I can already tell this is going to be a great match, and I don't want to ruin the ending for you.
You're too kind, King. You're also full of horse manure, as far as I can tell. I tell you, King, sometimes I get exhausted just watching these superstars compete.
I know what you mean, JR. I don't think most people appreciate what incredible athletes these WWE superstars really are.
You've got to have some excellent conditioning to be able to do what they do.
Well, that's the name of the game, JR. You got to keep moving. No dog ever peed on a moving car.
Oh, that's a lovely... Would you look at this? Smashing that arm directly into the steel ring post.
And that's a great way to pick your opponent apart, JR. I'm not sure I agree with what the crowd is chanting, JR, but I guess it's their right.
You're damn right it is. It comes with the price of admission.
After some of the things we've seen in this ring, JR, I think we'd better remind the folks at home not to try this stuff themselves.
That's for damn sure, King. The WWE superstars are trained professionals.
And even they don't walk away from every match in the best shape.
They sure don't. We've seen more than one superstar taken out of here on a stretcher. I tell you, King, I've got no earthly idea how these superstars can maintain this intensity week after week. The referee is down, and now there's no one to maintain order in this match.
Where do they find these referees, JR? They seem to be awfully fragile. I think we're going to find out just how much punishment.
And there's the cover. Well, you can't ever accuse the WWE fans of being shy about saying what's on their minds.
You sure can't, JR, and I don't think we'd have it any other way. I don't think these superstars have any intention of taking it easy on each other tonight.
That's not what they signed up for, King. And quite frankly, I think these fans would be disappointed if they didn't go all out.
Well, that's easy for the fans to say. They've never set foot inside that ring.
No, but they spend their hard-earned dollars to watch what goes on inside it. And without them, we'd all be out of the track.
You can look at any professional sport you want, JR.
Oh, for the love of... Talk about having no respect for your opponent.
Well, if you've got a problem with it, maybe you should do something about it, JR.
This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
They sure are, JR, and I love to hear it. Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling their paths were going to cross sooner or later. and I'm glad I'm here to see it.
Me too. It almost makes it worth having to sit next to you and listen to those corny expressions of yours. What the heck is a government mule anyway?
It's what you get beat like when you're in the middle of a slobber knock. And if you don't have the guts to stick around, you might run like a scalded dog with a case of the liver tape.
All right, enough! I'm getting a translator before I have to come out here with you again.
I don't care how you feel about this superstar, JR. Nobody should have to go through this.
It's painful just watching it, King. Oh, my. Now, that's what you call a compromising position.
That's enough to make you rethink your entire career, JR.
You've got to ask yourself, how much punishment will these superstars be able to withstand tonight?
I don't know, JR. I think they're pretty intent on finding out.
They certainly are. I don't know how it's going to end, but I can guarantee you they're going to leave it all in the ring. There's a kick to the chest. He's leaving the ring.
Oh, my gosh. That's just wrong, JR. I don't even want to think about how much that must hurt. There's a quick stomp to the chest. What's happening now?
My God. That's a short climb, but a potentially long fall. I think this crowd has decided to exercise the right of free speech.
God bless the First Amendment, JR. I think I see where this one's going, JR. I don't think we're very far from the end of the match.
I disagree entirely, King. I bet my Oklahoma Sooner ass that this one isn't even close to being over.
That's a pretty big bet, JR. Are you sure you're able to cover it? If any superstar shows the slightest hint of weakness, they've lost the match.
That's for sure. No matter how beat up you are, you can't ever let your opponent know the extent of your injuries.
And that's easier said than done, JR. The human body can only absorb so much punishment.
Oh, come on down. How about a little more wrestling and a little less posture?
It's called adding insult to injury, JR, and I think it's great. You got to respect the commitment and the dedication of these superstars to their careers.
No question about it, King. The ref...
We could have a pinfall here, JR. So long, ref. Sweet dreams.
It's going to be a while before the referee gets up from that.
I don't think that these superstars have even contemplated the fact that they might lose.
I'm sure they have. That's not the kind of attitude you come in with and expect to pick up the win.
You're right about that, JR. If you can't see yourself having your arm raised by the referee when it's over, don't bother showing up. I feel like the luckiest guy in the world, JR. I can't believe I actually get paid to do this job.
Well, don't let Mr. McMahon hear you say that, King, or you might wind up having to do it for free.
That's true. I don't want to say that Mr. McMahon's cheap, JR, but I heard he won't even tip a canoe.
These superstars are in terrific shape, and that comes as no surprise whatsoever.
No kidding. If you don't have that conditioning, you're not going to last long in a match.
You sure aren't. And that's only one of the many reasons I try to stay out of the ring whenever possible. I'll be honest with you, King. This is not the way I thought this match would go at all.
Me neither, JR. I guess that just goes to show that anything can happen in the WWE.
I think you hit the nail right on the head, King. And it's that unpredictability that makes it so exciting. I'm not so sure this was about winning or losing anymore. I think it's become more personal than that.
Of course it's personal, JR. Anytime.
Oh, for the love of... That ring rope is cutting off the oxygen supply.
And you know what they say, JR? If you can't breathe, you can't fight.
I think these superstars are getting some feedback from the crowd, JR.
Nothing wrong with that, King. That's what we like to hear. This match is going to continue until someone's completely debilitated. And considering the resiliency of these superstars...
Whoops! There goes the referee!
Oh, man! And now there's no one to keep order in this matchup. Oh, no! The referee's been knocked out. This can't be good.
Are you kidding? Now anything goes. It doesn't get any better than that, JR. Here's the cover, JR. You think these fans have gotten their money's worth tonight, JR?
If they haven't yet, I'm sure they're going to by the end of this match.
Well, I don't say this too often, but I completely agree with you.
These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell tonight.
They've already got a pretty good start on that, JR.
They have indeed, King. I don't think there's an ounce of quit between them.
Yeah, and that's where things get dangerous. If you're too proud to admit that it's not your night, you might wind up risking your career for a single match.
But at the same time, King, no one makes it up the ladder without pushing themselves to the very limit. It's a very fine line to walk.
These superstars are going to tear each other apart.
That's exactly what the fans paid to see, King, and they're not going to go home disappointed. What an incredible performance by these phenomenal superstars.
Did you expect anything less, JR? I mean, look who's in the ring right now.
No, I didn't, King. I had high expectations, and I'm happy to say that this match... And here's the pin!
1,
Wow!
2.
Listen to these fans, JR!
You can fool some of the people all of the time, and all the... Did you see that? Ring the damn bell! You can't let somebody get away with that!
I don't think the ref saw it, JR. And if the ref doesn't see it, it's not illegal. Well, from the looks of things, it's not hard to tell how this one's going to go.
What are you talking about, King? I think this is still an extremely competitive match. This could be a pinfall.
1, 2, 3.
I wonder if SmackDown's going to have anything